You are doing 5 things to your dog right now that you think are love. They are not. Not because you are cruel. Not because you do not care. But because the gap between what love looks like to you and what love feels like to your dog is wider than most owners ever realize, and nobody bridges that gap by accident. Your dog has been trying to tell you what they actually need. Not through barking, not through misbehavior, through signals so quiet and so consistent that you have been walking past them every single day without knowing they were there. By the end of this video, you will know what those signals are. And number 4 is the one that changes everything because it is the one you are most likely doing wrong right now. Correct relaxation. You know this moment. Your dog has chewed something, knocked something over, taken something they should not have. You turn around and without thinking, you fix them with a long, firm, unblinking stare. You say their name in that tone. You think you are communicating disappointment. Your dog is having a completely different experience. In canine social language, a sustained, direct, hard stare is not correction. It is a threat display, the same signal a dominant animal uses to initiate a confrontation. Your dog's nervous system does not process it as, "my owner is disappointed in me." It processes it as, "something dangerous is about to happen." The freeze you sometimes see the dog going completely still head, low eyes looking up at you, that is not guilt. Researchers have documented this extensively. That is appeasement behavior. Your dog is doing everything in their body language vocabulary to say, "Please do not escalate this. I am not a threat. I am trying to make this stop." And here is what that does over time. Research published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that dogs subjected to frequent confrontational interactions with their owners, even unintentional ones, showed significantly higher baseline anxiety levels and were less likely to approach their owner voluntarily in neutral situations. They are not scared of you exactly. They are just never fully sure what version of you they are getting. The fix is not complicated. Redirect instead of stare. Move calmly instead of loom. Use your voice to interrupt the behavior, not your eyes to challenge the animal. Because the dog you want, the one that is relaxed around you, that chooses to be near you, that trusts you completely, cannot exist if part of them is always calculating whether your next eye contact is safe. Your dog walks over to you while you are sitting quietly. They approach. They sniff your hand. They push their nose briefly against your arm or your face, and most owners in that moment immediately reach out and start petting. It feels like the natural response. It feels like connection. But from your dog's perspective, you just interrupted a sentence they were in the middle of saying. Dogs assess the people they are bonded to through scent and physical proximity in a way that is far more detailed than most owners realize. Your body chemistry tells them things your face never could, whether you are stressed, unwell, emotionally dysregulated, or fine. That check-in is deliberate. It is purposeful. It is your dog doing something genuinely important to them. When you immediately convert that moment into a petting session, you shift the dynamic. You make it about your need to touch them rather than their need to understand you. Try something different. The next time your dog initiates this kind of quiet check-in, keep your hands still. Let them finish. Let them take whatever time they need. And only after they have completed what they came to do, if they settle against you or look up at you or simply stand there satisfied, then respond. The difference in what you will feel from your dog in those moments is remarkable. Because you finally let them complete the thing they came to do, and a dog who is allowed to finish their sentences eventually starts saying more of them. Here is something we do to dogs every single day that we would never do to another person we cared about. We change their world without warning. New baby arriving. Moving house. A family member leaving. A new pet. Surgery. A week where someone else will be caring for them. To you, these things come with context, with mental preparation, with time to adjust. To your dog, they simply happen. One day the world is one thing, the next day it is something else, and they have no framework to explain the shift, no language to ask what is happening, and no way to know whether the change is permanent or temporary. Researchers at Stockholm University found that dogs experience significantly higher cortisol levels during periods of household disruption, and that the stress response was notably more severe when the disruption was sudden rather than gradual. You cannot explain a house move to your dog in words, but you can change how you behave in the weeks before it. You can take them to the new space before you move. You can let them explore the change at their own pace. You can maintain the parts of your routine that are most anchored to their sense of safety during a period when everything else is shifting. What you should not do is what most owners do, which is nothing, because they assume the dog will just adjust. Sometimes they do, but the cost of that adjustment, the anxiety, the disrupted sleep, the stress hormones that stay elevated for weeks, is real, and it is invisible to the people who caused it. Even a small gesture, staying consistent in the things that matter most when everything else is in flux, is a form of care that reaches your dog in ways nothing else can. What comes next is the one that changes everything, and it is the one most owners get wrong without ever knowing it. Your dog has a vocabulary, a real one, not words, body language, posture, movement, microsignals that are documented and consistent and meaningful. And within that vocabulary, they have a clear way of saying, "Not right now. I do not want this. Please stop." The head turning away, the lip lick, the slight lean back, the yawn at an unexpected moment, the body that goes still instead of soft. These are not random. These are sentences. And most owners do not just miss them, they actively override them. The child who wants to hug the dog, and the dog whose whole body is saying no. And the owner who says, "Go ahead, he loves it." The grooming session where the dog is giving every signal of discomfort, and the owner who keeps going because it needs to be done. The stranger who reaches for the dog's head, and the owner who says, "Sorry, he is shy," but does not step in. Every time this happens, your dog learns something: their communication does not work. The signals they send do not produce results, and over time a dog who has learned their signals do not work stops sending them clearly. Research from the University of Bristol's School of Veterinary Sciences found that dogs with more autonomy over physical interactions showed fewer anxiety behaviors and formed stronger voluntary bonds with their handlers than dogs whose interactions were controlled entirely by the human. Less control from you, more trust from them. This is what your dog has been waiting for. Not for you to be perfect, not for you to use the right commands, for you to listen when they speak, for you to hear a no and honor it. Because a dog who trusts that their no will be respected does not need to escalate, does not need to growl or snap or shut down entirely. They can communicate quietly in the earliest, softest signal, and know it will land. That is not a dog who is being managed. That is a dog who feels safe enough to tell you the truth. There is something I have never told you. I tried once, when the stranger reached for my face, and everything in my body said no. I turned my head, I licked my lips, I leaned back as far as I could without moving my feet, and you said, "He is fine," so I stopped trying to tell you. I tried again when you were upset, and I came to check on you to read whatever your skin was saying that your voice would not. But before I could finish, your hand was on my head, and the thing I came to understand got lost under the thing you needed to feel. I do not hold it against you. I do not know how to hold things against anyone. But I want you to know that I have been speaking to you every single day in the only language I have, and most of the time the sentence gets interrupted before I reach the end. If you could hear me, really hear me, here is what I would say. I do not need you to be more. I need you to be still. Long enough to notice what I am already telling you, because I have never stopped saying it, not once. I just learned to say it quieter. Your dog does not need you to be endlessly patient. They do not need you to never have a bad day, or to always be available, or to provide constant stimulation. What they need is to be able to predict you. Research into canine stress and owner behavior has consistently found that unpredictability in the primary owner, not harshness, not neglect, but simple inconsistency, is among the strongest predictors of chronic anxiety in domestic dogs. An owner who is warm one day and distracted the next, who plays enthusiastically on the weekend and ignores them during the week, who sets rules that shift depending on their mood. To a dog, that unpredictability is exhausting. Because they cannot map you, and if they cannot map you, they cannot relax around you, not fully, not in the way that lets them be the dog they are trying to be. The version of your dog you most want to see loose, present, open, trusting can only exist when their nervous system has decided it is safe to drop the monitoring. And monitoring only stops when the person being monitored has become predictable enough to trust. You do not need to be an extraordinary owner. You need to be a consistent one. Show up the same way most of the time in the moments that matter to them. Feed them around the same time. Walk them with the same patience. Respond to their signals with the same attention, regardless of how your day went. Your dog has been waiting their whole life for the version of you that is always the version you are. Not the best version, just the reliable one. Here is what you can promise them tonight. You do not have to promise to be perfect. You do not have to promise to never make a mistake or to always read every signal or to become an expert in canine body language overnight. Your dog is not asking for that. Here is what they are asking for. That when they speak, you pause long enough to listen. That when they say no, you believe them. That when their world changes, you hold steady in the parts of it that belong to you. That when you look at them, your eyes carry warmth instead of challenge. And that the version of you who walks through the door tomorrow is someone they already know. 5 things. None of them require training. None of them require money. All of them require the same thing: the willingness to see your dog not as something you own, but as someone who has been trying to reach you. They have been speaking to you since the day they came home. The only question left is whether you will finally let them finish. If this gave you a new way of seeing your dog, subscribe to Purect Relaxation. Tell us in the comments which of the 5 you are going to change first. And come back next week, because the more you understand your dog, the better life gets for both of you. This is Purect Relaxation. We will see you next week.